my brain is not getting fucking influenced because brain is just a fucking storage device.
Yes.
It should come from your heart. So I went to that level of spirituality. After mantra chanting, I used to do 60 minutes meditation, and then I used to start writing.
సో హాయ్ ఎవ్రీవన్, హోప్ యూ ఆర్ డూయింగ్ సేఫ్ అండ్ ఫైన్. సో ఈరోజు నేను ఒక సూపర్ టాలెంటెడ్ ఫిల్మ్ మేకర్తో ఉన్నాను. సో తన పేరు వచ్చేసి అన్సుల్ సిన్హా. సో తను 140+ నేషనల్ అండ్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఫిలిం అవార్డ్స్ పొందాడు. అలాగే 5 times TEDx స్పీకర్ కూడా. సో తన ఒక రీసెంట్ ఫిలిం వచ్చేసి 1 million views రిలీజ్ కాబోతుంది. 1 million views ఫిలిం గురించి అండ్ అలాగే తన ఫిలిం జర్నీ గురించి, అలాగే ఫిలిం ఫెస్టివల్స్ గురించి, వీటన్నిటి గురించి తను అడిగి మనం తెలుసుకుందాం. హాయ్ బ్రదర్. హాయ్. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ కంగ్రాచులేషన్ బ్రదర్ ఫర్ విన్నింగ్ దోస్ 140+ ఫిలిమ్స్ అండ్ 5 times TEDx స్పీకర్. రియల్లీ చాలా డేస్ నుంచి కలవాలనుకుంటున్నాను. సో మోస్ట్లీ బ్రదర్కి తెలుగు రాదు. మ్యాక్సిమం నేను తెలుగులోనే మాట్లాడడానికి ప్రయత్నిస్తాను. ఏదైనా తెలుగులో మనోడు ఇంగ్లీష్లో మాట్లాడి ఉంటే కింద నేను సబ్‌టైటిల్స్లో తెలుగులో వేస్తాను. సో బ్రదర్, ట్రై టు స్పీక్ ఇన్ తెలుగు ఇఫ్ మీకు పాసిబుల్ అయితే, లేదంటే పర్లేదు, నేను సబ్‌టైటిల్స్లో వేస్తాను.
నాకు కొంచెం తెలుగు వస్తుంది.
ఓకే ఫైన్.
ట్రై టు స్పీక్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్.
ఓకే, నో వరీస్ బ్రదర్. సో బ్రదర్, యాక్చువల్లీ మీకు ఫిలిం మేకింగ్కి రావడానికి వాట్ ఇన్స్పైర్డ్ యూ ద మోస్ట్? మీ ఫిల్మ్ మేకింగ్ కెరీర్ ఎలా స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి?
So I started my filmmaking career when I was doing MBA in mass communication. And then it started with a vision. So initially my vision was to remove poverty from India.
Oh wow,
That was my initial vision.
Cool.
So through that I started with documentary films.
Okay.
And I was not aware about a difference between fictional films and non-fictional films. But when I was doing documentary, I realized that there's some loophole in documentary storytelling.
Okay.
Where the information which is getting portrayed, but audience are not reacting to it.
Okay.
Then when I experimented with short film, I made around like 4 to 5 minutes short film.
Yeah.
I thought that I saw that people are getting connected to fictional storytelling when it comes to non-fiction. So that is what is the difference I observed between non-fictional and fictional cinema.
Okay.
So that is the point where I realized that I have to overcome and upgrade myself to fictional storytelling. Because fictional story can connect to the heart of the audience.
Yeah.
And audience, when they see fictional cinema, they react to it,
Yeah.
which is limited in documentary.
Yeah.
So that is the area where I thought I should switch myself to fictional storytelling.
At what age did you fall in love with films?
When I was around 19 years old,
Okay.
that was the time when I started getting attracted to visual storytelling.
Nice. How do you select the themes for your films? Like, in every film you are taking some social issues and making something to the society, So how do you select those themes?
Research-oriented cinema. So I love to make vision-oriented film.
Okay.
And then basically, I strongly believe that if whatever the problems is coming in and around me, apply my storytelling talent to help that problem solve with the medium of cinema. This is my vision of filmmaking, because in cinema there are multiple genres.
Yeah.
We can tell a story in the form of romance, we can tell a story in the form of thriller, horror. There are multiple genres. So always a storytelling can be communicated. So that liberty we have in cinema compared to other medium.
Yes.
So that is what triggered me. And whatever the problem I was coming across, like I made a film on farmer suicides. I made a film where a person has completed last rites of orphan dead bodies. I made a film on student suicide issue. So overall I have done over 100+ short films, 3 short feature films.
Yeah.
Then over 400+ corporate films and ad films.
Yeah.
So over the past 7 to 8 years, I've evolved my storytelling. And now I am here at a stage where I'm ready with my new projects.
So coming to your recent, film 1 million views. What is actually 1 million views?
So for 1 million views, we have invested almost 3 years. Immediately when my project Mitti Back to Roots got completed,
Yeah.
I wanted to do some project. So how did this story got triggered to me?
Yeah.
So one day I was like randomly scrolling my social media.
Okay.
And I saw there was one girl who was streamed live. And there were some random vulgar comments were popping up.
Yeah.
So that was the point which triggered me of an idea to do this story, of a project called Million Views.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do something low budget where I can show my skill set. But I wanted to do on a very big scale. Big scale in the sense not in the form of budget, but in the form of a big picture vision.
Nice.
That was my ideology.
Okay.
So when I saw that scene where there was a girl blogged, and then some vulgar comments were popping up.
Okay.
Then from there the story started cooking on my head.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, what if I come up with a story where a girl is been stream lived and she's been locked, and then all the people those are watching her live, they're forcing her to do something.
Okay.
And then all the vulgar comments are popping up, and then she's been locked there, and then she don't have any option but to follow what the audience is telling her to do.
Okay.
So that triggered me. And then from there, I started thinking, what should I do? What is happening? And then from there, this story stood with me for a longer period of my time. And then almost till 3 years, I went through a lot of communication skill books and all. And in the initial phases, I was just wondering what is happening with that girl, and why all the people those are watching her live, why they're so hungry to see this girl nude. What is that element which is forcing the people, or what are those elements which has brought the society level so down level, or when they are all alone, why their grey side is being popping up so loud, and why they are going into that darkest element. So all these questions were starting popping up. So initially, this was the initial thought process, that what is happening between the audience and what is happening with the girl. So it took me almost 3 to 4 years to come up with an ideology, with an concept. And then since last year, means I was heavily working on this project.
Okay.
I've done almost one year of study of doing this project. I went through around 60 to 70 plus book. I have read entire Rig Veda.
Wow.
Then I started following Gita. I've read that Shiva element. I've read that Krishna element.
Wow.
And then I wanted to make sure that there is a soul conversation is happening in this movie.
Yeah.
So this movie is beyond cinema. That is what I believe. And that level of hard work I have put to make sure that I am giving my best. Because until and unless if I am not giving my best, if I am not giving my 100%, then I am not satisfied.
Yeah.
So my cinema is heavily driven by the research work and the study which I do. For even writing one dialogue or even writing one word, there's a heavy homework I do.
Wow.
Because I want that connectivity, and it shouldn't come up randomly.
Yeah.
And I make sure that my cinema is not opinionated, and there is no point of view which is being getting added into it. I badly want that the subject to speak to me. And whatever the characters are coming up, I don't make sure that I'm forcing my protagonist, I'm forcing my antagonist into the story. I let that subject speak to me. And I let that subject drive me the characters. Let that subject give me the characters. And then from the birth of my protagonist will happen. And from that the birth of antagonist will happen. And whatever the co-artist, co-characters are then, that subject tells me. These are the characters, these are the antagonists, these are your co-actors. And from that, the thing starts popping up.
Wow.
So this is some glimpses of the backstory and the homework which I have done.
వావ్ చెప్తుంటే చాలా ఉంది. ఆల్మోస్ట్ అంటే 1 year దాకా మీరు రీసెర్చ్ చేశారు దీని మీద. వావ్ సూపర్. అలాగే ఇంకా చాలా రిలీజియస్ బుక్స్ కూడా చదవాలి విన్నా. క్యాస్ట్ అండ్ క్రూ ఎవరెవరు ఎలా సెలక్షన్ ఎలా జరిగింది ఎవరెవరు యాక్చువల్లీ.
So when I was doing the research work and study, so cinema research work is completely different. When we speak about normal study where people usually do PhD and all, that research work and study is completely different.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the cinema research work and the study part, it basically happens from the negative point of view, from the antagonist point of view. Because the positive side, you will get a lot of material.
Yes.
But to get the negative angle of the society, you have to go deep into it. You have to go into the practicality of the world. You have to be out there and then observe the society. When this observation was happening, I was observing all the people in and around me, specifically after the COVID. People were going through a lot of trauma. And then that was the time where people were having financial crisis. A lot of people they lost their loved one also. Someone lost their parents, someone lost their wife, someone lost their kids. So in this last 3-4 years, people have gone through a lot of trauma, which has forced them to be a victim of addiction. And that addiction can be of porn, that addiction can be of alcohol, that addiction can be of smoking, overeating, undereating, or diabetes, or whatever it might be. So when I was going through this realistic element, I wanted the cast which I'm going to be hiring or which will be onboarded for this project, that should look very realistic. I don't mind whether it is a newcomer or highly established character. Initially, my thought process was that I was like madly excited to do this project with Alia Bhatt, or my second option was Radhika Apte.
Okay.
So these were the topmost priority. But unfortunately, I didn't got a chance to reach out to them. I tried a lot, almost like 3-4 months since November till December. I was trying to reach out to them, but things didn't got worked out. Initially, when the things didn't got worked out, then I thought, let me pull in my money, let me invest it, but and then make this project happen. Because I was very excited to tell this story.
Okay.
Until and unless if I am not excited, then obviously my audience wouldn't be excited to watch this story. So I was very excited to tell this story. And so because for me, filmmaking is beyond my job. It's beyond anything, because I put my heart into it. It doesn't come from brain to it. It comes from my heart. It comes from my soul when I am making this. So I have taken like almost 3 to 4 months to do the casting of this project. I have gone through 1,000 profiles when the auditions were happening. So, and I wanted the actors to look very realistic. They should be honest to the character which they are playing when they are appearing on the screen, whether it is the antagonist or protagonist or even the smallest background actor also. I wanted to make sure that they are looking realistic and they are not looking fake. Even when they are saying even one line, one word, it should look very authentic. It shouldn't look unrealistic, or it shouldn't look like someone is forcing them to tell the line. And then I wanted everyone to put their heart into it. I want them to feel it. I want them to live that character. That is what I wanted. This is the reason why I took almost 3 to 4 months. And then it is not like that I have casted actors only from Hyderabad. I went out to entire India. So there are actors, those who have came from the deep East India, from Dhanbad, from Jharkhand. There are actors, those who have came from West Bengal. There are actors, so those who have came from Delhi, Gujarat, from districts also, from South also, from West, from Mumbai also. So I've made sure that whatever the profiles which is being coming to me, I've made sure that I'm being very honest to it, honest to them, whoever. And then I didn't do any kind of discrimination. If anyone was sending their audition video with their basic mobile and they recorded, I made sure that I'm acknowledging each and every actor. And then the procedure was that I've taken 4 rounds of casting. So first round was a normal round where all the actors were sending their profile videos. Then I told them that I'll give you few lines, you record it to them and perform it. Then I took their live, on Google Meet, I got connected with all of them. And then I started giving them different kind of scenario. So basically, I wanted to judge that, are they honest to their profession? At what level they can push themselves to go beyond their level. Because this entire cinema million views is dealing with the soul. So I wanted to know, are they honest to themselves? If they are not being honest to themselves, then how can be they honest to the profession?
Yes, sir.
How can be they honest to my cinema? So I wanted that honesty, and then I wanted them to perform with their heart. That is what I badly wanted it. Because if I am putting my heart and soul in making this project happen, I want all of my crew members, all of my cast, on screen, off screen, to work with that level of dedication, because this is beyond money for us. And then we wanted to be very, very honest with the audience. For me, if audience is watching this project, or audience are watching this million view project, they should get a healing. Because this film is beyond cinema. We are going through multiple scenarios, multiple case studies is being getting projected in this film, and it should get connected to the audience, and that will only happen when I have a right cast and crew. Without them, it's next to impossible. And then even for selecting the behind the camera crew, from assistant director, cinematographer, and art direction team, and then production management team, I made sure that everyone is putting their heart into this project. After putting so much of hard work and effort, by the grace of God, I got right crew, right team members. My team members, Sushant is here, and there's Praveen ji, Vamshi is there, Pratibha was there, and then Hari is there, Nitin is there, Dayakar is there. So these were my hardcore team members, crew members, who are taking care of art direction, costume designing, production management, everything. Because obviously it's a low budget film. We were a hard crew member of 6 to 7 members who were heading each of the department. And then what we have done, we have played it smartly. So this entire cinema was shot in like 2-3 locations.
Wow.
We have designed 22 sets. Different kinds of sets.
In these 2-3 locations.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
2-3 locations. We have constructed 22 sets.
Super.
And then what we have done is that entire project was designed in a storyboard format.
Nice.
So there are around 6 to 7,000 animated frames were designed.
Okay.
So initial first phase of storyboard was with the basic pencil sketching.
Okay.
And then we got a sketch artist called Manoj. He was the brain behind the visualization of this entire.
Wow.
Because from writing to visualizing and then to execution, it's a very technical process.
Yeah.
It goes through a hell lot of checklist.
Yes.
And then I want to do that level of prep.
Wow.
It is not like that, okay, my story is ready on the paper, I'll directly jump into the production part. No. Then I wouldn't be honest with the process of making the film. So I'm in the love of the process of making this.
Nice.
And then I made sure that from research to screenplay, then to reaching till the production part, there is a procedure which needs to be visualized in a creative way. So we have a hell lot of like technology these days available.
Yes.
So Manoj was there. So what strategy we have adopted, the new thing which we have bought in this cinema is that we have designed the entire pre-visualization in Blender. And then what we have done is that we have seen the entire pre-visualization in 2D animation form.
Nice.
Where we were able to see the hairstyle of the character, see the expressions of the character, see the costume designing of the characters.
Super.
And I was very, very specific about the bone movement of my characters. So I went to that level.
My God.
At what level the bone movements
Almost 2D movie.
Yes. So that level of prep we have done. So then how much eyebrow movement will happen, how much cheek movement will happen. And then for each and every frame, we used to write notes. So there were like around 7,000 to 8,000 of frames were there. For each and frame, we used to write notes. And we used to define whether it is getting connected to the theme of the cinema or not. Whether it is communicating that emotions or not. Whether it is going with the color palette and color psychology or not.
Yeah.
So all the 22 set designing which we have done, it is representing the color psychology. And I was very specific about the costumes, the colors, even the small prop was kept on the frame. There was a reason behind it. Even if my character is smoking or even if he's speaking bad word, there's a heavy reasoning behind it. That it is mandatory and it is required. Nothing is happening randomly there. There is a reason behind it. This is the reason why these actors have been projected in this. The entire pre-visualization was done. What we have done is we have shot the entire movie with dummy actors. I did acting, Sushant did. So I called all the theatre actors and on the location we have done the dummy shoot of the entire movie.
Why?
The reason why I wanted to do is that I wanted to see that I am being authentic to the screenplay. I am being honest to my storytelling. Because on writing, when it's there on paper or when it is there on a storyboard format also, there is some disconnect. That is what I see. So what I did is that I kept the storyboard in front of me. I acted as Shivani. I acted as different character, and this guy Sushant acted as different character. My teammates started playing different roles. So when we were enacting, and then we were seeing that, okay, what is the challenge my actor is going to face? Because this cinema million views is dealing with the soul part of the storytelling. It is not like that randomly we are saying some dialogue and there's a conflict happening there. The opposite character is telling the dialogue and then there is some drama element is going to happen. So I strongly believe that this will be India's first cinema where the protagonist and the antagonist is directly speaking with the audience. If you see the narrative of the million view, the characters and actors are directly speaking to the audience. There is no interference that they are talking to some opposite character. So the narrative and the style of cinema is completely in a different way.
Yes.
The reason I wanted to do is that because people are going through that pain point and they're suffering. And then this is the reason why I wanted all the actors, those are projecting the society on the screen. I want them to speak directly. So this is the reason why we made sure that we will do the entire dummy shoot. We will enact, and then we'll make sure that we will review each and every scene. So we shot the dummy shoot, and then we started editing it. And after editing it, we saw with the dummy background music, and we saw that how the dialogues are sounding, what is the feel I am getting. And then we showed it to some new members. We told them, review it, judge them.
Like a test audience.
Yes. Test marketing, test audience. When I narrated to, I have friends, there are like 10 to 15 directors who are my good friends. I went to them, I showed them the dummy shoot. I showed them this visual, I showed them the storyboard. This is what I am visualizing. At this scale, at this canvas, I am thinking about this project. And then I want this cinema to reach out to my audience. It's beyond money. I don't give a fuck if I'm not making any money out of it. For me, it is coming out from my heart. And it should reach out to the hearts of the people. So that is the main motto. Rest is, if it's a loss, it's a failure, that is not in my hand. But it should get connected to my That is the main intention. That is the main reason behind so much of putting hard work in.
I can say that true filmmaker brother in you. So ఇందులో మిలియన్ వ్యూస్ ద్వారా అసలు ఏం మెసేజ్ ఇవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నారు ఆడియన్స్కి?
So Million View is a pure fictional film because usually lot of people think that Anshul is into the social cinema media. But it is not at all like that. What I do is that, again, I'll repeat the same thing. I let the subject speak to me. And then let the subject tell me what genre is going to justify it. It can be thriller, it can be comedy, it can be romance, it can be horror, it can be anything. But let the subject speak to me. I don't force my opinion, because usually what happens with filmmakers, their ego pops up. I am good in thriller, I'll make thriller. I am good in drama, I'll give a treatment of drama. I am good in romance, I'll give a treatment of romance. That is where the conflict starts happening between the subject and the creator. That I wanted to avoid. So I have written around 24 drafts of this Million Views project, and 30th draft was the final one. Where I wanted, this is what I wanted, and this is the direction I want to go ahead. So it is completely written in a commercial treatment format. The reason I'll tell is, I didn't want it to go in an infotainment format, where information is being getting communicated, and end of the day people are getting bored. And what I want to achieve with this cinema, that wouldn't be able to achieve it. So I wanted to make sure that the entertainment element is coming in the cinema. It should entertain my audience, and at the same time my message should be communicated. Then only I'll be sustaining in this film. Because if I end up making some film where something is happening in an information format, I won't sustain. Because end of the day, it's a business. That trade needs to be understood, and that needs to be acknowledged. If I'm outside of trade and if I say, no, I'm an artistic filmmaker, then my sustainability is on the stick. So I made sure that entertainment is happening. What happened is that I got blocked somewhere around January. I got blocked into this. This question started popping up that end of the day, Anshul, it's fine that you want to put your soul into it, you want to give your best into it, but you have to understand it's a business. So I read that book, which is written by Robert McKee. So I hold myself, I put myself back, and I invested 10 to 15 days. Let me read this book completely and understand what actually entertainment is. And then let me project that entertainment from and bring this project called Million. So I did a lot of study and understanding what actually is entertainment. This one line statement is Robert McKee's book. Entertainment is nothing but when your protagonist is put in a challenging situation, and whatever the choices they make during those challenging situations, that is what is the character building. And that is what is entertainment. That is what the audience want to see. So now, what is this going to do? Will the protagonist will compromise? Or will he or she will come over the challenge? So the choices is the terminology which defines that how entertaining your cinema is going to be.
Yeah.
What is the value it is going to bring for the audience. So I've read that entire book. Just for that book was very helpful.
Okay.
And then because usually I adopt Sitfield and then I am lot of influenced by Save the Cat. But again, Save the Cat and Sitfield is influenced by Robert McKee. So if you don't read Robert McKee, then you wouldn't be able to understand Save the Cat and Sitfield.
Yeah.
So it's mandatory. So I think I did that mistake in the last 7 years of my filmmaking career. I ignored Robert.
Everyone starts with the foundation of screenplay by Sitfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a mistake I did. But then when I read Robert McKee, I realized, okay, these two guys are influenced.
Yeah.
Robert McKee. Why did I ignore Robert McKee?
Okay.
So that helped me a lot. That gave me a solution what is actual entertainment. Because usually what happens now in Indian cinema, the meaning of entertainment is something else. So I wanted to know, if I'm a low budget filmmaker, then how can I bring that element into my cinema? I cannot afford to shoot big songs.
Yeah.
I cannot afford to shoot big sequences, fight sequences. And then I want to be a storyteller. And then there should be a way out of it. Then when I got a lot of answers when I was reading Robert McKee.
Okay.
Again, to answer your question, so this entire million view, so there is one girl who gets blocked inside a dark room.
Okay.
So the entire film is based on addiction. And what I have observed that people are going through a lot of addictions in their life.
Yeah.
And my study was that in India, 2 billion people are consuming porn videos. That is somewhere on an average 5 to 6 years. So 5 to 6 hours of porn consumption is happening
Per day.
per day. Correct. Which is so shocking.
Yeah.
And if you talk about US, Japan, they are on number 1 and number 2. India is somewhere around 4th and 5th position in porn consumption. In US, it's somewhere around 8 hours per day.
My goodness.
That level of porn consumption is happening.
Okay.
Then if we talk about alcohol, the major source of revenue in India of 5 to 6 major states, you can Google it.
Yes.
You will get all the details.
Yeah.
The source of income has become alcohol. And then by 2028, India will be declared diabetic capital. So all these statistics, when I was doing my research work, these statistics triggered me that what the fuck is happening in the society? Why people are getting trapped into these addictions? So that can be of porn, that can be of smoking, that can be of alcohol, that can be anything. But why people are getting trapped into it? Why they are getting a victim of all these addictions? So these questions were popping up in my mind. Why the society has become so rude that they want to go that level and they want to justify their addiction, they want to glorify their smoking. What is the wrong thing happening? Because on cigarette it's written clearly,
Yes.
smoking kills. Or if you are watching porn on a regular basis, on a 6 to 7 hour basis, obviously things will get damaged.
Yeah.
So a lot of things are happening. The outcome is very dangerous. So I wanted to see what is happening there. So I've designed a story in such a way that there is one girl who gets kidnapped and then she is being streamed live and then people are hungry to see this girl nude. So the drama is that without stripping, how does she get 1 million views?
Okay.
So the name of the girl is Shivani. She is a protagonist. So Shivani is trapped in a room and then she needs 1 million views
Okay.
to crack this thing.
Okay.
So the entire drama is now what she will do.
Yeah.
And who are those people who will come live and speak to them.
Nice.
And behind this trap, there's an entire antagonist team. So those who are the mafia or those who are the king of the black web.
Okay.
And then they want to make black money. And then they have designed this entire porn website where they are trapping the girls and then forcing them to do X-rated chats.
Yeah.
And then, so their aim is to make money out of this thing. So this is the brief synopsis of this project, million views.
Yeah.
So the entire element, the triggering part, why audience should watch this cinema would be that what is that thing which is forcing the society to come heavily on this girl and how this girl is going to solve all these cases.
Okay.
So this is the whole synopsis of the story.
Wow, bro. So nice. చాలా థ్రిల్లింగ్గా ఉంది యాక్చువల్లీ. మీకు థాట్ రాగానే స్టోరీ అసలు ఎలా రాస్తారు ఫిల్మ్ మేకర్స్ యూజ్ అవుతుంది కదా ఈ పార్ట్ అంటే సో యూ డూ రీసెర్చ్ ఓకే ఆఫ్టర్ ఆల్ ద రీసెర్చ్ లైక్ వెదర్ యూ ఫాలో ఏ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఆర్ యూ బ్రేక్ ద స్ట్రక్చర్ అంటే మీరు ఎలా రాస్తారు మీ క్రియేటివ్ ప్రాసెస్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది?
So initially when I was writing Million Views, I wanted to go with a proper storytelling structure.
Okay.
Obviously 3-act structure or Save the Cat structure. So there are ready-made template out there.
Yes.
If we follow these template, then we can come up with a good story.
Okay.
Because what happens now, if you go with these templates now, it gives you boundaries. You cannot think in a scattered direction. It keeps you in a very organized way.
Yeah.
So that is what is happening. But in this film, Million Views, I'll be very specific about this story. Because after I initially thought of following a pattern, I initially thought of following a structure to tell this narrative.
Okay.
But again, I wanted to think beyond this structure. So after 10 or after 11 draft, I was thinking that there something is restricting me and I'm unable to push myself beyond my limits. Now the reason why it was happening is that I was unable to understand, because what was happening is my judgmental thought process was happening when I was coming up with screenplay.
Okay.
Because this cinema is very pure. It directly deals with the soul. So for this I have read, as I mentioned, I've read entire Rig Veda. So I wanted to think from the soul point of view. And on this planet, if you want to think from the soul point of view, then you will get the reality in Rig Veda, you will get the reality in Gita, which is the Krishna element, the Shiva element. So how the spirituality science is happening there, how the quantum physics is being getting applied there. So from that point of view, that level, I wanted to understand the theory behind the writing the screenplay. So screenplay is nothing but whatever your thought process is there, you are implementing it. But how are you giving birth to that thought process? That is the most challenging part, because you have to come up with an original idea. These days, if you directly go randomly Google it, you will get a lot of material. There you get influenced with all those material, and then what do? You end up making a collage. Okay, I saw 10 Korean movies, I will saw 10 English movies. I watched some 10 Telugu movies, 5-10 Bollywood movies. I'll make some collage and come up with new story. Where is the originality? That is a big question. So I wanted to make sure that I'm not getting influenced by anything. I'm not getting influenced by Western cinema or South cinema or West cinema. It should be pure original story. It should come from the soul and it should come from the heart. So like 4 to 5 months I didn't came out from my house. So from last year, this time only, from June till November, December, I was like, I want to crack this thing. I want to understand at what level I can push. What is my limits and how far I can push myself. That is what I wanted to understand. I did got answer in any English literature, in any books. I've read a lot of communication books. I have read a lot of books. I have read Joseph Murphy. I have read a lot of books on habit pattern, habit loop. How this fire neurons get pops up, because this cinema deals with addiction. People, those who are justifying their addiction. So I wanted to check that how the brain is getting completely fucked up.
Okay.
At what level the people are going out there and then pushing themselves to go and even justify rape. That thing is happening. Even that level of things are happening. So I wanted to hold myself back and then wanted to understand what is actually happening behind this thought process. During this entire journey, when I was reading Rig Veda, I got answer to lot of things, how the soul element is working. And when I got instituted to this element of Lord Krishna, I got a spiritual connection to the soul element. I understood that in which the wrong direction I was heading. And from there, then I started doing my spiritual element got popped up. Because I wanted to feel it first. If I am not feeling, then how can I communicate that in the form of storytelling to my audience? First, I wanted to feel it. Until and unless these things are not touching me, if it is not, if I am not getting that level of feel, that level of connection, then it doesn't make sense to me to push myself to that level and make a cinema out of it. So I went through a lot of mantra chanting because those are very spiritual elements.
Okay.
So initially it started with Shiva element. I used to do Om chanting. It got started with that, and then I exposed myself to Sikhism also, to Christianity also. I wanted to understand different religions and what are they saying, and why there's a disconnect between the religion and this spirituality and human beings. So I did almost 3 months of mantra chanting ka sadhana and all, and went into that purity level because I wanted that level of purity should come in my storytelling. Because if you see million view when it will get released, it is made in a very raw format. All the people, those who are coming live, they will be speaking their heart out of it. And then how does Shivani solve these cases? That is the entire drama. What is going to happen inside that movie.
Okay.
So when people are coming out there and then talking, and then whatever the drama or screenplay is happening inside that movie, I wanted that it should come from the heart. So there are multiple point of view. There are multiple scenarios in the film. This cinema is not dealing with individuals. This cinema is dealing with ideologies. This cinema is dealing with a certain set of population. Now, say for example, if I tell you about a male community, entire male community, if they are justifying their addiction, that means they are going through some kind of trauma. If there is a teenager who is justifying his addiction, can be alcohol, can be porn, can be smoking, can be into being into multiple relationships also. If they are justifying it, then that means they are going through certain trauma in their life. So in this cinema, the antagonist is sitting somewhere else. It is like 7 layer of thought process behind which the antagonist is sitting there. So go to that level and understand the screenplay from that format. I wanted my spirituality to get activated. So whenever I used to write even one scene, one dialogue also, I used to sit for like 1 hour in a meditation form, and then I wanted to make sure that it is coming from my heart. It is, my brain is not getting fucking influenced, because brain is just a fucking storage device. It should come from your heart. So I went to that level of spirituality, and then I wanted that it is purely coming from my heart, and then it is being whatever, it will be on my computer or it will be on my paper.
Okay.
Because if it is not coming from my heart, then how it will connect? How it will connect to my audience?
Yes.
Wouldn't be original. And I wanted to make sure that the entire project is not getting influenced. If you see million view, there is a sure shot sustainability that this cinema will survive for next 100 years.
Wow.
The reason is that whoever is falling into the trap of addiction, or whoever is feeling lost or feeling lonely, the first name should come is that million views. That was the vision. The vision, the scale on which I was imagining, that was completely next level. I didn't want it to end up that this is just a movie. It is beyond movie. It is. So if I'm giving you this statement in front of camera, I wanted to make sure that I've done that level of prep, that much of efforts I have put to make sure that it is connecting and reaching out to the audience. So I used to sit for almost 60-70 minutes, and until and unless I'm not getting that dialogue, that word, that screenplay coming out with my heart, and then I'm putting it on the paper or on my computer screen, that wouldn't be approved from my side. So there was some time where I was blocked in the screenplay for 7 days, 10 days, 20 days, even for months, I was blocked. But I didn't make sure that my frustration, my anxiety levels, or my anger is forcing myself, चल यार जल्दी लिख लेते हैं, इतना time चले जा रहा है, a hell lot of time is being getting investment, come up and let's produce some shit. I didn't wanted to do it. I wanted to do it with a lot of honesty, and I wanted to make sure that have patience. I used to sleep in the night time because I read in Joseph Murphy book, The Power of Subconscious, but that book says that if you, before sleeping, if you are thinking about something, then when you wake up in the morning, the subconscious mind is so powerful that you will come up with an idea. So every night I used to sleep with the blockage of my screenplay, and before sleeping 1 or 2 hours, I used to just think, okay, my protagonist is blocked there. My screenplay has reached till the 4th minute, 5th minute. How it is going to go into the 6 minutes, 7 minutes. The entire night, even when I used to sleep, I has to keep processing.
Okay.
So that when I'm waking up in the morning, I'm waking up with the original idea. And then specifically in the first hour, what I used to do when I used to wake up, first 2-3 hours, I used to sit properly in a meditation. And then I used to do a lot of mantra chanting. So now the meaning of the mantra is man and tra is motion. So it gives movement to your thought process.
Okay.
So in the night time when my idea is happening into the subconscious, and if it needs to be come out from that entire thought process, that there's a mechanism of mantra chanting. So night I used to sleep, let that idea cooking up, and through mantra chanting, after mantra chanting, I used to do 60 minutes meditation, and then I used to start writing screenplay.
Wow.
Then those original dialogues, then creativity. If you watch Million View, I am sure that it will connect to you.
రియల్ బ్రో, నేను ఒక 2 సీన్స్ చూశాను. రియల్లీ చాలా చాలా హార్ట్ టచింగ్ ఉన్నాయి. అఫ్ కోర్స్ మీరు రిలీజ్ అయిన తర్వాత మీరే చూస్తారు. మరి అది ఎప్పుడు రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది యాక్చువల్లీ, అంటే మీరు ఎప్పుడు అనుకుంటున్నారు?
So currently we are in the post-production stage, and obviously we are searching for distributors currently.
Okay.
And finger crossed, we are trying to reach out to Geo Cinema. Plus in Hyderabad also, we are trying to reach out to Suresh Production, because I have heard that Rana sir is very, very encouraging to the upcoming filmmakers. So I am going to reach out soon. So this entire 1 month, by September, and we are sure that we will be coming up with some date, and we'll be definitely communicating to all the people those are possible.
సో బ్రదర్, మీరు ఆల్మోస్ట్ 140+ నేషనల్ అండ్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఫిలిం ఫెస్టివల్ అవార్డు తీసుకున్నారు కదా. సో యాక్చువల్ ఫిలిం ఫెస్టివల్లో విన్ అవ్వాలంటే మా ఫిలింకి ఏం క్వాలిటీస్ ఉండాలి, అసలు ఎలా విన్ అవ్వాలి?
I can say that I'm a product of a film festival. I have participated in over 800 film festivals, nationally, internationally. I was invited in 3 countries also. And US I was invited as a chief guest. In Italy, my film got award. In UK, my film got award. So overall, international awards I have received it. So if you want to win a film festival, then the first step would be, don't prepare your film with a mindset that I want to win an award. Don't make a film with a mindset that I want to crack a film festival. It doesn't work out like that.
ఓకే.
If you want to crack a film festival, secret of winning a film festival, that how the biggest problem or how the biggest scenario you are telling in a pure storytelling format. So that is the secret of winning a film festival.
Okay.
If you see Abbas Tomi Cinema, Iranian filmmaker, because Iranian filmmakers are pro in cracking film festivals. If you see major film festivals, the Iranian filmmakers are the one, those who are able to crack a lot of film festivals across the globe. So they know the art of storytelling. But actually what is happening behind that? People see that, okay, there is some cinema which is winning some film festivals. They are winning 100 awards, 200 awards, whatever it might be. But they don't understand the art of storytelling behind it. If you see Abbas Kiarostami Cinema, because he is the legendary filmmaker in entire world who has cracked so many film festivals around the world. And he is so limited. If you see his storytelling, he will tell his story with spoons. He will tell his storytelling with kids. Because he don't have that much of budget. He don't have that level of actors where he can tell his story. Initially, when he got progressed in his career, then now he's a legendary filmmaker in the world. If you see initial phases of his career, he used to tell story with kids, story with non-living object. So the concept of winning a film festival is how the biggest concept, how the biggest source of problem, or whatever the crisis is happening in and around us, how do you adopt it creatively and tell it in a storytelling format? If you see, Anshul, what kind of film which you have done in this way, I have made one film with spoons and forks.
Yes.
As you might have seen that, with zero budget, but I wanted to communicate what is happening in the COVID. So it's around 1 minute 30 second film. That film have got me national award. That film got me 2 international awards. Then there is one project of mine which is Waterman. It's just a 1 minute film. For that project I got 45 awards. So it's not about whether you are shooting on a mobile camera or whether you are even driving also. There's a flip book cart. Now there are a lot of girls who might be watching this interview. They might be feeling restricted. Oh my God, Anshul, I don't have a camera. Then how can I win a film festival? You can draw it. You can draw it in a storyboarding format. You can draw something. Or maybe you can click a picture and tell a story. So medium can be anything. Medium can be a motion picture, or a drawing also. But how are you adopting all these things, the crisis, the scenarios, whatever is happening in and around you, and communicating in the form of storytelling? This is the secret of winning a film festival. Film festival can be anything. It can be Oscar, can be Cannes, can be Mumbai International, can be National Award, can be anything. But what is the big crisis or big storytelling you are adopting to communicate to your audience? That is where you as a creator comes into the picture.
ఫెస్టివల్కి అప్లై చేయాలంటే ఎలా చేయాలి, మీకు అంటే వెబ్సైట్స్ ఏంటి?
That's obviously there's a website called Film Freeway website.
Yeah.
But what I used to do is that I used to practically visit lot of film festivals. When you go and practically visit lot of film festivals, you get an exposure there. And that is the point where you see there are a lot of posters attached there. That what is the next film festival happening there. Or then that is the point where networking starts happening. You get to know that there are other film festivals which is going to come in this city, that city. This is how you used to get an information of all the upcoming next films. So I used to visit lot of film festivals, go there, sit, meet with directors, meet with writers. This is how in the initial stage of career I built my stream.
Okay.
Now Sushant is filmmaking. I got connected in that way only, through the film festivals only. He used to watch films and he got connected through film festivals. So my entire team got built with the film festivals only. If I was watching some short film, I liked the cinematography, I used to directly go and meet the cinematographers. Your cinematography is good. Can you do some work for me? If I used to watch some music director, editor, who might be the technical touch, from there we will get. Because from there you will get realistic artists. Those are genuine, those who badly want to achieve something. They are hungry to prove their skill set. So from you get original characters, the original team, original crew, who will help you to make your product.
సో బ్రదర్, మీరు క్యాస్ట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు అసలు ఏం చూస్తారు? ఆడిషన్కి వస్తారు కదా యూజువల్లీ. సో ఆడిషన్కి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళ దాంట్లో మీరు అసలు ఏం గమనిస్తారు, ఏం చూస్తారు?
If anyone wants to apply for being selected in my project, I first see how much serious they are. If they are sending some random photos or just sending their previous work cutting, that is a big no for me. Because I want them to come in a very organized way. I would like to see their portfolios and I would like to see their previous work. So what happens, lot of people will send their random videos and then I don't know in which duration your scene is going to come. And they are like, they want me to see the entire web series or the entire, so that time nahi hai mera. So they have to make sure that they are coming in a very organized way. If they are not coming in that organized way, that is a big no. Because they themselves are not organized in their career. Then how they can be organized in their performance? So these are the very minute things. Because that is the first point. What you will do, you got some casting call, you got the number from the director, you will immediately send something. So how you are sending it? I am being very specific about that. How much serious you are about when you are sending your portfolio. So portfolios should be sent in a very organized way. It should be sent in one PDF in which there is your photos in different costumes. And then if you want to send the videos, then organize it properly. Make some document, paste all the links there which can be easily clicked and can be gone there, and mention a duration there. That is this duration my scene is there. You can watch it, or else edit it and make in some hyperlink format and send it to me. Then the next would be, I want to see their entire height, their skin color, how many languages do they know, how many genres they can do, can they do comedy, can be like how many skill set do they have. What happens is that when the actor is there on the set, I see that okay, he or she can do comedy also. When they come on the set, at that time I'm getting to know. This guy is he can play a serious role also, he can play a comic role also, he can do dance also. That things I'm coming to know when I'm there on the set. Then there's a conflict, there's a big miscommunication. You have to write it properly. You know dance, you know so many languages, you know some martial arts, you know some karate, that needs to be mentioned. Those majority of actors, they don't do that. Whatever the 1,000 profiles we have got, it is so unorganized, I don't know. And like people are investing 6 years, 7 years they're trying to be an actor. If you go in Mumbai, even in Hyderabad also, you will see that they're like 7 years, 8 years, and they are waiting. But how much serious are you are about? It shows on your seriousness. If everyone is cracking this thing, if they are coming up with their proper website or a proper Instagram page, if I'm going there, I'm getting each and information right there, then it's a first checklist for me. Okay, this guy is serious. Let me see. Then what do we do? My selecting an actor is a very tough, because I've done over 100 short films. I've done one last feature film called Mitti Back to Roots. So I've seen there's a lot of behavioral issue with the actors. Usually for them it's just for name and fame. For girls it is like it's a medium where I'll go and I'll project my beauty on the camera. It doesn't work like that. You have to play a character out there. Character out there which is out there into the society. You have to represent them. That is the point which actors don't understand. That you are here to play characters there. You have to be honest with the characters. You are not here to show your six-pack abs, or you are not here to show your cleavages out there to the audience. Audience are not here to see that. I know that is mandatory, that glamour is mandatory. People end of the day want to see that glamour on the big screen. But cinema is beyond glamour. So they don't understand this. So when I see that they are serious and they genuinely want to do something, then it's a checklist. Then my second round is that I give a very big monologue. I almost give like 2 to 3 minutes ka monologue to them. And so majority of the actors, those who are not serious, they get eliminated. They'll be like, what the fuck, this guy has given 2-3 minute ka monologue. That shows for seriousness. So in Mitti, when I'm there on the set, actors are worried about, okay, the camera is not on me, I'm not getting the chance to play lead role. Role can be anything. Even a small character also. You have to be honest with your performance. ऐसा नहीं है कि यार मेरे को सिर्फ major role मिलेगा या lead role मिलेगा तो ही then I'll put my efforts. No, it's not, doesn't work like that. Each and every character is very important for cinema. So that is the point they don't understand. And then what happens, their ego starts playing into the picture. And then it's a disaster to my storytelling. It's a disaster to my subject. I cannot be dishonest to myself. I want people, those who are hungry to perform. Can be any role. Can be anything. Can be antagonist, can be protagonist, can be anything. But I want them to be honest. So then I said, my second round would be I send a very big monologue to them. And then half of the characters, the actors get rejected there itself when they see it. So we get to know the seriousness. And once someone is recording that level of monologue, I'll get to know. Okay, this is there, that is there. So what I have observed in that, majority of actors these days, they are dropping their briefs whenever they are telling a dialogue. Say for example, there is a line which says, संध्या मैं तुम्हें मारना चाहता हूँ, मैं तुम्हारा खून कर दूंगा, मैं तुम्हें ऐसा बर्बाद कर दूंगा कि तुम जहन्नुम में भी छप चले जाओगी तो तुम्हें पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि मैंने तुम्हारे साथ क्या किया. So this is a one narrative line. ठीक है? And I'm directly looking into your eyes and telling the line with complete conviction. And there's a connectivity. I can connect my co-actors and connect my audience also. When I'm telling and then throwing this long, that intensity is there, that depth is there in my voice. What happens with majority of actors, immediately after one line, they'll release their breath. It will be like this, संध्या मैं तुम्हें मारना चाहता हूँ, जब तुम जहन्नुम में भी चले जाओगी तो मैं वहाँ पर भी. तो जो ब्रीथ ड्रॉप होता है ना, that is where you have fucked up with your performance. Majority of actors, they do this. Majority of actors. That is the point where they get eliminated. These days, actors are not having stamina to. You see Shah Rukh Khan, you see Chiranjeevi, you see Rajnikant, the kind of monologue they will give. You see Kamal Haasan. They are the gems of Indian cinema. When they throw, you see the depth of Shah Rukh Khan when it sits. Gives a monologue. You see Kamal Haasan, you see Chiranjeevi, when they are portraying that monologue, there is no breath drop. You see Irfan Khan, there is no breath drop. There is intense connectivity in the audience. And even there are pauses when they are telling the line, there is no breath drop. Because they know if they are dropping their breath in the middle of the dialogue, they have lost their audience. They have lost their audience. This is what actors are not understanding. when all the actors were there on the set, my half of the 1 to 2 hours was going in that only. First 10 takes was going into bin only. They were not having stamina. Stamina nahi hai, course hai. They feel that ki fitness is not required for an actor. No, this acting is purely like a sportsman career.
Yes.
You have to go out there, you have to do voice modulation practice, you have to do this throat practice, so that voice is coming very sharp and crystal clear.
Yes.
When you are there in front of camera. No one is working on that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine, you are working on your body. End of the day, you have to look good in front of camera. But if you want to be an actor, you have to work on your voice modulations. You have to work on your diction. You have to work on your breathing pattern. No one is working on their breathing pattern. Every dialogue, every narrative requires certain kind of breathing pattern to tell a line. Then it gets connected to the audience.
Yes.
So that is my third round, where I see how they are working with their breathing pattern, how they are working with their diction. That is what I observe. And if I see a seriousness in an actor, and if I see that this actor is pushing himself or herself, but not reaching till that level, then I tell them, then I guide them. Boss, this is what is missing in you. This is what is the problem is happening. Try to figure it out. Try to record the dialogue in this way and resend me your audition video.
Okay.
Then if those actors are serious, then obviously they'll re-record it, they'll resend it, and if they have cracked it, then done.
Okay.
They'll be selected in that.
Wow. Super.
So this is the method I adopt.
You know, bro, so many young filmmakers are watching. సో వాళ్ళు చాలామంది చూస్తున్నారు. సో మీది చాలా జర్నీ, చాలా ఇయర్స్ నుంచి అండ్ చాలా ఫిలిం ఫెస్టివల్స్, చాలా షార్ట్ ఫిల్మ్స్ తీస్తూ వచ్చారు. సో ఇప్పుడిప్పుడే స్టార్ట్ అవుతున్న వాళ్ళు కానీ, కొందరు స్టార్ట్ చేసి కెరీర్ గివ్ అప్ చేద్దాం అనుకునే వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉంటారు. సో బిగినర్కి అండ్ గివ్ అప్ చేసే వాళ్ళకు మీ దగ్గర నుంచి మీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అడ్వైస్ ఏదన్నా?
So my advice, I wouldn't say advice, I would say that let it come out from your heart. Let it come out from your heart. Meaning, whatever the story you are trying to tell, it has to connect with the audience. Your career growth will only happen when you are connecting with your audience. Because end of the day, it's the audience who is they are going to invest that 100 rupee. They are going to, I share one example. I went to Reliance office.
Okay.
If it was Monday morning there. Friday, one cinema got released. The distributor was on the phone. He was getting calls from all the theaters, from North Zone, from South Zone, West Zone. He was saying that he morning show khali ja raha hai, picture nikal do kya? And he was going through so much of headache. He was like, no, some lovebirds will come to have some chill in cinema, let it be there, morning show chalo. Because he want to sustain for at least for 5 days, 16, because he have invested so much money. So we have to understand it from the business point of view. So whoever the youngsters are there or people they have given up, they don't understand the trade of the cinema. They have to understand the business of the cinema. Because end of the day, when I went to pitch my previous project, he upfront told me how your cinema will help my theater or my projector guy to sell their samosas.
Yes.
Because for them, their headache is the cold drinks out there, the samosa out there. If your film is having that capacity and strength which can help them in selling their samosa and cold drink, then you will sustain. And you have to understand, you have to accept that fact. If your cinema is not helping them to sell their samosa and then cold drink, you are out of the business. Because they are earning their bread out of it. So that business angle needs to be understood. Lot of directors and writers, they know I want to say my art. None of my business. There is no demand of your art out there. At the end of the day, it's a business. And if you want to communicate your art, to change the style of storytelling. I'm not saying I'm not against the art. I'm against the way of storytelling has evolved. It has changed. The consumption of watching the frames per second has changed completely.
Yes.
It is not previous. It's not like in a traditional. So that is what needs to be understood. When people are failing to understand the trade, failing to understand the narrative style and all, that is where the conflict happens. Because they are not ready to push themselves beyond their limit. And then they feel that my career is not growing, or I should give up, there is no future in filmmaking. You have to think it from the audience point of view. Because it's the audience who will help you to grow in your career. It's their money. It's their hard-earned money, which they will put you to watch your story. So you have to make sure that you are honest in understanding your audience. Until and unless it is not connecting to your heart, there is no growth. Can be any career. Filmmaking, dance, lyrics, can be creative. Creative career can be anything. It should connect with your audience. As a storyteller or medium can be anything.
Okay. Nice, brother, nice. Hi, brother, about Golden Dream books. అది గురించి మాట్లాడతా.
Yeah. So I have written a book called Golden Dreams, and so I have like participated in 800 film festivals, and my failure is very much big compared to my success. I have won 140 awards, but I have lost 800 film festivals also.
Yeah.
So in this journey which I have gone through this, I thought, yeah, let me put out my experience completely, because filmmaking is a very unorganized sector in our country.
Yeah.
It's a very unorganized sector. Can be acting. Say, for example, if you want to become a music director, you want to become a lyricist, or you want to become an actor, dancer, choreographer, film director, writer, you don't know where is the right way. Where should I go and start my career? Say, for example, if you want to become a banker, there is some exams happening there. You go out there into a banking job, 6 months will be a probationary period. Then you get selected to one level, and then there's a matrix completely out there. For 1 month you are for next 5 years you will be manager. Then you are ending up your career as a branch manager. In cinema it's not like that. When you are taking that courage that I want to become an actor, I want to become a film director, dancer, whatever it might be, you don't know where should I out there. It's a war happening out there. It's a war, literally it's a war happening. And then when you keep on sending your profile to production houses, you don't get any reply.
Yes.
You don't get any replies from any major production houses, because for them you are just one another option. For them there are 100, 200, thousands of people out there who's waiting still so many long for an opportunity. So you are just an option. So what happens with the creative people? They go into a different zone. They go into depression. Obviously you are a human being and all that. How hard you can push yourself. You can try for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but 4th year you need money to survive. Because जब पेट को भूख लगती है ना, तो फिर वो बोलता है भाई किधर पहले पैसे से खाना खिलाऊंगा. Creativity is completely on the side. Maybe through this interview I would like to request to the entire South industry or to the West industry to come up, figure it out some organized way from the beginning. For me it took 6 to 7 years to figure out that what I am trying to do with this creativity, because there is no mentorship happening there. There's no, if you go into Hollywood, if you go to Marvel Studios, or if you go to Disney Studios, there is a separate department where young writers, if they are coming up with a story, so there are some script doctors out there. You go there, you pitch them, and they give you feedback also. If they are rejecting the screenplay, they'll give you a detailed feedback that why the fuck your script is getting rejected. They'll improvise and they'll pitch back. So something is happening in an organized. Whoever the big players are there in this cinema industry, a request to all of them is that try to make something in an organized. I'm not saying that कि यार पैसे डालो या फिर start some organization. Just be honest. Let the people, give them opportunity to showcase their talent. Make something where a writer can come and pitch that this is what is the talent. You reject it upfront मुंह पे बोलते, but at least he will feel that यार there is some organization out there where I can go and I can showcase my talent. That is what is not happening in our country. It's very unorganized sector.
So బ్రదర్ది గోల్డెన్ డ్రీమ్స్ అనే బుక్ ఉంది, PDF బుక్, అంటే ఈ బుక్ అది. సో నేను కింద డిస్క్రిప్షన్లో లింక్ ఇస్తాను. దాని పేమెంట్ కూడా చాలా తక్కువనే ఉంది. సో అది మీరు పేమెంట్, బ్రదర్ అది స్టిల్ ఓపెన్?
So the book cost is only 99 rupees. You guys can buy
99 rupees. జస్ట్ ఆ కింద ప్రాసెస్ ఉంటుంది, నేను లింక్ ఇస్తాను, ఆ పేమెంట్ చేసేసి బ్రదర్. అలాగే నేను బ్రదర్ మిమ్మల్ని ఒకవేళ కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వాలనుకుంటే
so they can connect with me on my Instagram page Sinha Ansul 66, and everything is there. My contact number is also there on my Instagram page, and if you simply Google Ansul Sinha filmmaker, you will get all the details.
బ్రదర్ చెప్పిన బుక్స్ గురించి కానీ, అలాగే బ్రదర్ చెప్పిన వెబ్సైట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో వాటికి సంబంధించిన కానీ, ఏదైతే మన ఈ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో ఏదైతే డిస్కస్ చేసామో అన్నిటి గురించి కింద డిస్క్రిప్షన్లో లింక్స్ ఉంటాయి. అలాగే ఈ బుక్ గురించి కూడా ఉంటుంది. అండ్ పర్సనల్గా నేను రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఫిల్మ్ మేకర్స్ ఎవరైనా కానీ కొనండి ఖచ్చితంగా. ఈ బుక్ చాలా హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది. ఎందుకంటే బ్రదర్ ఒక స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి తన జర్నీ చాలా డీటెయిల్గా రాశారు. అండ్ ఫిల్మ్ ఫెస్టివల్కి ఎలా అప్లై చేయాలి ఏంటిది అనేది కూడా చాలా క్లియర్గా మెన్షన్ చేశాడు. చాలా యూస్ఫుల్ ఉంటుంది. నేను చదివాను ఆల్రెడీ. సో డెఫినెట్లీ ఎవరైతే చూస్తున్నారో మీరు తప్పకుండా కొనండి, చాలా హెల్ప్ఫుల్ అవుతుంది మీకు. ఆస్కర్కి అప్లై చేయాలంటే ఎలా?
In a simple way, if you want to apply for Oscar, there are two ways to do this.
ఓకే.
So on National Film Board, India Film Board, mein, if you go onto their website, I forgot the name. I'll share the link or the exact name with you.
బుక్లో కూడా ఉంటుంది యాక్చువల్లీ ఆస్కర్కి ప్రాసెస్ అంతా కూడా.
So if you go onto that page, through there you have to apply whatever the short film or you have made, and then you have to first get a censor certificate.
ఓకే.
And then through that is an official way to send your film. So there is one team who will watch your film, whether it is short film or feature film, whatever it is.
ఓకే.
So they will watch your film, and if they like it, then from there it will go to Oscar. You don't have a direct right to send directly to the Oscar. It goes through that segment only.
ఓకే.
Initially, I was also very excited that I want to send my films to Oscar. So what did I do? One day I directly emailed to Oscar. The Oscar website email lake, and then I sent it to them. And then I got the same reply that you have to come through this source.
Okay.
In your country, there will be somebody who do the selection of your films through that medium. You have to come.
Okay.
You can't come directly. That is one way. Now, second way is there's a backdoor entry to Oscar.
Okay.
So, what does Oscar does? Every year they release a list of film festivals, which is applicable to get selected to Oscar. Meaning, if you are winning that film festivals, your film get automatically qualified for Oscar.
Oscars. Okay.
So, there are a lot of such film festivals which have a directly qualification to Cannes and Oscars. So that is like a backdoor end. So in India, there is only one film festival, which is Bangalore International Film Festival.
Okay.
That is the only film festival which has an Oscar qualification.
Okay.
So if you want to get selected in India, I would say submit your film to Bangalore Film Festival, because they don't say your CBFC certificate and all. That is again a headache.
Okay.
So you directly go submit your film to Bangalore International Festival. If you are winning there, then you are getting a qualification.
And before ending, brother, like you also మీరు 5 times TEDx speaker కూడా చేశారు. సో జస్ట్ దాని గురించి ఒకసారి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చెప్పండి.
So that was obviously speaking in front of 5,000, 6,000 plus crowd.
Yeah.
It's completely next level. Again, what is the level of the problem you are solving? If you want to see the character of any individual, you have to see that the level of the problem he or she is solving. So that is the criteria of being selected as a TED speaker. So whenever I get selected as a TED speaker, they see that only. What is that level of the problem this guy is solving with his profession or his skill set? So when I am being a TED speaker, I tell them that only, that how did I got introduced to this problem, then how did I apply my skill set and my talent to solve these things. I have fucked up a hell lot of money also making this cinema. But somewhere like I'm trying something, I'm like trying to innovate, I'm coming up with new ideas, new kind of storytelling to make sure that I'm getting connecting to my audience with the medium of this cinema.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ బ్రో. చాలా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇచ్చారు. అండ్ డెఫినెట్లీ మళ్ళీ నేను కలుస్తాను ఆఫ్టర్ రిలీజింగ్ ద ఫిలిం. దాని గురించి ఇంకా చాలా డీటెయిల్గా నేను మాట్లాడతాను.
And before going, so for the entire community of what the filmmaking, there will be some seats which will on the day of the premiere.
Wow.
I'll make sure that so what we'll do, Steven, is that we'll do some question and answer competition.
Sure. Yeah, Q&A.
And I'll make sure that your entire community is getting some benefit out of it.
Okay.
And then they are getting a free entry on the day of the premiere.
Sure, definitely bro. Thank you very much, brother. Yeah.